There are so many reasons not to move to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but Hokies aren't one. In this video, I'll give you 10 reasons why you might want to reconsider moving here. If after this video you're still willing to move here, then you can reach out to me below. I like to talk about Philly openly and honestly, and for me, that might mean using some foul language. So if you're easily offended or triggered, you might want to leave now, and that's my fair warning. Just like any place, Philly is not perfect. It's far from it, but I'm still here after all these years, so I can tell you it's not that bad, really. If you stick around, I'm going to give you the inside insight no one else has the guts to tell you about the top 10 reasons you might hate it here. So let's get down to the top 10 reasons not to move to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 2023. Number one, noise and congestion. If you're going to live within the city limits, expect it to be a noisy shit show, and not just from the bums yelling at each other in the middle of the night. Just the sheer amount of people and traffic coming and going all in one place. If you need to live near Philly but also need peace and quiet, you might want to live outside of the city in one of the nearby suburbs. Although I recently helped a family move from Northeast Philly to an acre-sized property over an hour away from the city, and you know what? They told me they had to adjust to the eerie silence. So I guess there's proof you can get used to the noise and the chaos. It just fades into the background. So I want to tell you, I love your feedback about these videos. I might not really give a shit what you have to say, but I appreciate your perspective. My name is Dawn D'Amico. I'm a licensed realtor in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey. I've lived in the Philly metro all my life, and this video could be hours long if you really want all the dirt about living in Philadelphia. So if you are considering a move and want more content like this to help you decide if this place is right for you, you might want to like, subscribe, and comment. But hey, that's your choice. Ask me your questions about living in the Philadelphia metro, including New Jersey. And if you are thinking about making a move into or out of the state, let's connect and see if working together makes sense. And if not, I've got lots of great agents all over the place. I can connect you with the right one to fit your needs in your area. And my contact details are below. Let's get to number two, limited green space. Okay, all you country bumpkins who thrive on the rolling pastures and fields of daisies, all that nature crap, Philadelphia's parks and recreational areas aren't going to cut it for you. I mean, let's face it, if you're stuck in the concrete jungle of Philly, you'll be as detached from nature as a Kardashian is from modesty. Plus, living in this urban jungle can drive you straight into the arms of depression and stress. Yeah, you heard that right. The constant noise, pollution, and lack of greenery will have you feeling like a wilted flower. So if you're a thrill-seeking city lover, but also desperately need a nature fix, no worries, my friends. There are plenty of suburbs in Pennsylvania and New Jersey that are just a stone's throw away from the city. Let's get to number three, the harsh winters and the hot summers. Let's get real about Philly's weather situation. Yeah, sure, most of the time it's mild and bearable, but get ready for some wild swings that'll leave your head spinning faster than Forrest Gump runs for a box of chocolates. We're talking about temperature shifts so sharp you'll need a coat in the morning and you'll be sipping umbrella drinks on the rooftop that afternoon. It's no wonder some longtime residents decide to become snowbirds and flee to the sunny south for the coldest of the winter months. And if you prefer your climate as stable as your kid on Ritalin, then Philly might not be your jam unless you have the freedom to spread your wings and go south for the winter. So unless you're a masochist and you want to endure the bone-chilling winters, or you own a second home down south, you might want to think twice before making Philadelphia your one and only home sweet home. Next up is number four, the education system. Philly schools are a real letdown. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. According to niche.com, these educational institutions leave parents pulling their hair out and wondering if kids are learning or just napping. Philadelphia boasts a hodgepodge of public and private schools, but let's face it, the quality of education, it can be really all over the place. Niche.com even says that some Philly schools are so abysmal, they practically make you question if they're teaching the alphabet or just the art of daydreaming. Now, if you're one of those folks who actually cares about your children's education, you might want to consider moving to an area with schools that actually give a damn. But hold your horses and your moving trucks. Take a peek at niche.com's ratings first. They'll give you the lowdown on which schools are the cream of the crop and which ones are just scraping the bottom of the educational barrel. Next up, number 5, limited parking. If you're the kind of person like me who cherishes their own ride and loves the freedom of driving, Philly is going to be your personal parking nightmare. I mean, we're talking about a city that thrives on parking limitations, making it harder to find a damn spot than it is to win the lottery. And you know what's even crazier? They turned this shit show into a reality TV series called Parking Wars. Yes, they made a show about the chaos that goes into just finding a place to park your own wheels. So if you have the audacity to own your own car in Philly, you better whip out that calculator because you're going to be shelling out some serious dough for parking. And don't get me started on finding an apartment with or a home with parking or, God forbid, a garage in the city limits. So think twice before driving into the parking circus that is Philly. Unless you enjoy the thrill of circling the block for hours, fighting off parking vultures and spending lots of money on a damn parking spot, you might want to consider other options for living outside of the city limits so you can have your car. Next up, number 6, aging infrastructure. Philadelphia's aging infrastructure is the epitome of what I call deferred maintenance. I mean, this city's got more problems than a Jerry Springer guest has baby daddies. We're talking about outdated, decrepit stuff that will make you question if you travel back to the Stone Age. When it comes to housing, get ready for a whole lot of headaches. And if you're looking at older housing stock, be prepared for heating and air systems so inefficient they'll make you sweat your butt off in the summer and wear your coat in the winter, even indoors. And don't get me started on the windows and doors. Get ready to literally throw your money out the window because you'll be heating the outdoors and cooling the outdoors if you are living in an older building with few updates. But wait, there's more. Our utility systems are a hot mess, especially in PA. The electric grid, the lifeline we all depend on, isn't as reliable as a fart after a bean burrito feast. And let's not forget our charming cobblestone streets and narrow roadways designed for horse-drawn carriages instead of the chaotic mess of pedestrians, bicycles, scooters, taxis, buses, and bumper-to-bumper traffic that we're facing today. Your patience will be tested as you navigate the maze of potholes and traffic jams. That brings us to number 7, traffic congestion. This mess of traffic leads to smog so thick you want to whip out those leftover COVID masks. Yep, the closer you get to the city, the more you'll be breathing in the delightful cocktail of exhaust fumes and possibly regret, unless you hate your own lungs. Now, if you're unlucky enough to need to be in the city, you might want to consider public transportation. But let me warn you, my friends, that comes with a whole new level of chaos. If you've seen the news, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a circus on wheels with delays, breakdowns, and the occasional Fight Club performance. But keep in mind, public transport doesn't give you any control on when you're going to get to your destination. So hopefully you'll have all the time in the world and no schedule to keep. I once got stuck on a SEPTA train for over an hour because someone decided to step in front of the train that night. So we got locked inside until the police cleared us to depart the train, only to find other form of transportation in the middle of the night, even further from our destination than when we got on the train. Now let's talk about number 8, the crime rates. Brace yourselves because this shit's about to get real. We're talking about higher crime rates both in property crime and violent crime. And hey, I'm not just spewing some bullshit here. Go check out niche.com so you can see it's not just my opinion. So if you've got a family with little ones, be sure to check the site for the safest places for your family. And lucky for you, if you're in Pennsylvania, it's your God-given right to be a licensed gun owner and carrier. Over in New Jersey, the gun laws are a lot stricter. So if you already are a gun owner and planning to move to the Philly Metro, be sure to check the gun laws in detail before you decide which state in the Philadelphia Metro that you want to live in. Like I said in a previous video, the perps here, they don't fear the cops. So just watch the local news and see for yourself. Let me tell you, the cops in the city, just like all the rest, are throwing in the towel and retiring faster than a Philly kid can hotwire your hot rod. So no matter where you live these days, it's best to lock your doors and learn some self-defense moves in the streets of Philadelphia. You gotta be ready to rumble like Rocky. It's a crazy world out there, my friends, but if you can keep your nose out of your mobile phone while you're walking down the street, you will survive this Philly adventure. Look, I'm still here. Next up, number 9 is taxes. The state of Pennsylvania has a higher tax burden compared to many other states, including higher income taxes and property taxes. And within the city of Philadelphia, you'll pay even more. So if you need to move here, choose carefully which area to live in, because tax rates, especially property taxes, can vary greatly. And guess what? If you plan to live and work in the city of Philadelphia, congratulations, you've won the grand prize of taxation, a lovely thing called the city wage tax. If you work in the city of Philadelphia, you'll pay a city wage tax for the privilege of working here. And if you live within city limits, well, you, my friend, get to pay even more. Philadelphia's wage tax will take a bite out of your hard-earned paycheck like a fat kid eats cake. But if you compare Pennsylvania and the additional city taxes to New Jersey, then the tax situation in PA might not seem so bad. New Jersey, the state that taxes your retirement benefits and slaps you on the tush with higher property taxes too. It's like jumping out of the fire and into the frying pan if you're moving from Jersey to PA. But at least you'll have some new neighbors to commiserate with. All right, and that brings us to number 10, the higher cost of living. Philadelphia may seem like a cheaper option compared to those other bougie cities in the Northeast like the Big Apple or the District of Crime, Washington, D.C. Sure, those snooty cities might have even more expensive cost of living than Philadelphia, but Philly will still give your wallet a serious beatdown. Housing, transportation, groceries will drain your bank account faster than you can say, yo, cuz. So if you're making the move from someplace where things don't cost an arm and a leg, brace yourself for a rude awakening. A lot of people who move here tell me they were not prepared for the overall cost of everything just costing more. And it really adds up if you take all the expenses of living into account. So if you're moving from somewhere more expensive to the Philly metro, cost of living will leave you with a little extra room in your budget. But if you're moving from a place where you're not getting robbed by the Philadelphia Parking Authority's red light cameras, you might want to watch my other videos about the cost of living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 2023. Despite my smart-ass sense of humor, I absolutely love helping people find the right place for them right here in the Philly area. My name is Dawn D'Amico. I'm a licensed agent in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So if you're looking to buy or sell in a different state, that sucks for you. But I can still answer your burning real estate questions and refer you to a great agent in your market. And if you have decided that your heart is set on living somewhere in the Philly metro, reach out to me below. I love hearing from people like you who want to live in one of the best metros in the country. I'll see you in the next video.